Good afternoon. This is Kirby again from Grace Counseling Center. For this video, I want to speak about the marriage playlist once again. And I'm entitling this to answer the question either why is my wife always challenging me? Or I can rephrase it in the other side as why does my husband seem defensive all the time? You can see we're here to address some miscommunication issues that lead to a lot of misinterpretation and the buildup of a lot of unnecessary resentments. So what do we mean by this one? Imagine this. Think of a scenario where the husband and wife starts having an exchange, as simple as where to eat. And the husband start asking the wife, where do you want to have lunch? And the wife will start giving a cryptic response. I know I'm biased. The cryptic response usually my wife gives me is, whatever you want, wherever. Then the husband will start playing the game. The husband and wife will start playing the game of giving out suggestions and being rejected, seemingly being rejected. The husbands would start saying, what about burgers? Then the wives will start saying, what about Japanese food? And the husband would start saying, oh, okay, there's Japanese burgers. And the wife would start changing things. What will happen here, it will seem that once the husband will start centering on a certain solution or a certain response, the wife will move the goalpost or start shifting the conversation to something else. And the husband will start feeling that I'm constantly being rejected. Why is this happening? This is what one of the things that we mean, but why is the wife always seem to be challenging me? It's like I'm being tested. And the husbands in this point in time will start feeling that they are being tested. That is my wife testing my mind reading skills once again. That she actually has an answer on where to eat for this afternoon, but she wants me to guess it. Why is she doing this? So it makes it look like that it's my idea that we ended up there. She doesn't want to decide for herself. Then the husband will start getting angrier and angrier and angrier. Then the husband will start pulling away or start barking back. Then the wife would start accusing the husband of, you don't care. You are too aggressive. I don't want to speak to you. Most of the time, the wife will accuse, if you're the husband, you'll start getting the idea that you don't care. And the problem with this one is that it's typical, this is a typical miscommunication between husband and wife in lieu of personality differences. And I'm bringing this up because this is one of the more common things that pop up in marriage therapy. It's as simple as husband and wife loving each other, that's why they got married, not being aware of the big personality differences that they bring in the marriage, and these differences in personality causes the miscommunication and such that the resentment starts building up. What do you mean by personality differences? Take, for example, gender has a lot to do with personality. Now, why is this? Because men are hardwired for solutions. Men are hardwired for engineering courses, for numeracy. Females, I can vouch for this. As a counselor, I can vouch for this. I admire and I envy the level of emotional intelligence of our female practitioners or our female counselors. The way I observe the way female counselors deal with their clients, it's in a very, very different level. And the same way you can observe mothers, the way they attune, they even have a word for it, the way they tune in with their children, it's on a different level than how guys would do it, how the fathers would do it. So is it a skill? Actually, no. A talent? Maybe. It's something hardwired in us, which contributes to personality. Here you would see the personality of most guys would be the solution-focused ones. Engineering type, 1 plus 1, I would say 2. You come to me with a problem because I don't have time to listen to your hurts and to your feelings. I will try to solve it as soon as possible. The problem with that is the wives being more relational, being more emotional. They want, and I say this as a fact, correct me if I'm wrong, They want an emotional exchange. They want a positive interaction, especially between husband and wife. So when the husband starts asking the wife, where should we go for lunch? The husband, being an engineer, all of us are engineers, all of us are guys. When we ask, where do we go for lunch? We expect food. So to fill our stomach, and we no longer have hunger. I'm here to eliminate hunger. Just tell me where, I will give in. I'll eat anything. But I just need to know where. For the wives who are more relational, more socio-emotional, more, I would say, more deep, because their focus is not on hunger. Do take note of this. The focus of the wives is to create a connection for that moment. So they stay in the present, and they bring in the past and consider the future, and they want this as a positive interaction. So what they want is actually an exchange of listening and sharing. So here's how it will go once again. The husband will start asking the wife, where do you want to eat? The wife would say, what's a good place for you? The husband would say, I want burgers. Then the wife will do something cryptic if you don't see their motives. They will give a response or a recommendation which they themselves don't know if they want it or not. So if I say burgers, there's a big chance my wife would say, what about fish and chips? Husbands will see this very, very differently. Is she challenging me? Is she telling me? No, I would say she's telling me that she doesn't want burgers. So it's rejected. She wants fish and chips. Normally, the husband's response, which annoys the wife, is simply, okay, let's go for fish and chips. The wives would feel frustrated because they don't want you to simply accept their suggestion. They want a answer. They want, I cannot say an argument. They want a discussion. Why fish and chips? So how is fish and chips for you? There's been a while since we haven't had the fish and chips. Where's a good place that you want? Then they will start discussing. And believe me, they don't want fish and chips also. They just want a connection for that moment. And I'll tell you why. Most probably because what I do notice about wives is that they're very sensitive about the relationship drifting apart. Again, I don't really blame them because, especially in Singapore, the husbands are always away. The husbands are my wife would always say that I'm always on my phone when I'm with her. Likewise, it's a default drifting apart of the relationship. Drifting apart leads to I do my stuff, you do your stuff. So there's a lot of stitching up that females do, or what the wives will do. They will ring you in the conversation to invest more in the relationship. And this is why the wives seemingly bring a straightforward issue, A to B. You don't like your job, quit. You're hungry, eat burger. A seemingly linear 2-point line issue to something very convoluted. And the husbands who are engineering based, hardwired for a straight line, will see this as, why do you have to complicate things? Why do you have to reject my burgers, bring up fish and chips, which you yourself don't want? The wives simply want a connection. And for this reason, there's a lot of misinterpretation. And I'm turning the seat towards the wife's side, and the wives would simply want a positive interaction will get solutions upon solutions upon solutions. Where do you want to eat burger? I would say fish and chips is actually a prompting for the husband to start a conversation, right? Why fish and chips? Something fun, a good banter, just like in the dating days. But to their disappointment, the husband would say, okay, fish and chips. Then the wife would start giving another hint. What about Japanese food? The husband would say, okay, since you brought it up, it means you like it. Okay, Japanese food. Now, I want to point out here that the husbands who do this are doing it in the spirit of love, in the spirit of giving in. I'm giving up my burger for your fish and chips, then for your Japanese food. So the husbands do not really stand their ground and say, I want burgers, so let's have burgers. So these are the good husbands. They mean well. But the wives get it, they see it in another dimension or plane, that the husbands do not care about discussing things with me. And I'm left for my own decision. I say fish and chips, and I want him to be partly responsible for it. I want him to enjoy the process of coming up with a decision of where to eat for lunch or for dinner. Now, this is only an example. It's not always the case. The miscommunications will always start, and I'm telling this to all couples. Please be reminded that all married couples came from the stage of being in love with one another. These conversations, these miscommunications will not be there during the dating days. Why is this? Because the lenses that we're wearing then is about security and love. That I want to please her, she wants to please me, and whatever restaurant she brings up, fish balls or what, I would just say, okay, without feeling challenged, without feeling insecure. Now, why is this? Because throughout marriages, things change. Things become more serious, and the husbands, why do husbands feel defensive? And check this one out. This is for another topic, but for now, I'll answer it straight. The husbands feel defensive, most probably because, I'm a Freudian, because their childhood, I would say their childhood issues are brought up. It's like me defending myself to my mom. It's like me defending myself to other female authority figures. So the females will have to be more sensitive on this one. My suggestion for the females here, to avoid defensiveness in your husbands, sadly, you'll have to do this. Just to avoid a long resentment or a long fight, is to give out a good introduction to your questions. I'll give you an example. So in the future, you'll be asking the husband, what time are you coming home? This one, my wife knows, it ticks me up. Even for me, I'm more aware of this one, but it still ticks me up. What time are you coming home? In the husband's mind, with mother issues, my mom is in heaven now, but with mother issues, the first thing that will come to my mind is, I've been spending my whole day explaining myself to clients. I've been spending the whole day explaining myself to my bosses. I've been spending the whole day explaining myself to the cleaning auntie on why I have to pour out those rubbish bin in the sink. Now you want me to explain things to you. Why can't I just come home in my own time? Why do I have to keep reporting to people? Now, you become my police. You are policing me. This is how most defensive husbands will see. And I will start going around and say, my wife keeps challenging me. My wife keeps policing me. So as the wife, what do? Provide an introduction first. Sadly, because of our automatic responses, you don't want automatic responses to kick in, my childhood responses to kick in. You have to provide an introduction first, that I'm cooking dinner tonight and I need to know the head count. So I'm simply asking if you're gonna come home for dinner. I would say it's poorly phrased. What time are you coming home tonight, or will you come home for dinner? But the point here is to clarify things, that it's not that I do not trust you. It's not that I'm keeping tabs on your whereabouts or on your dismissal time or your curfew or what have you. I just need to know the head count for dinner. So this is what happens. Give a good introduction to your questions. I just want to know the head count. Are you coming home for dinner or not? That's it. And it will create wonders, because it's a reminder for us guys that the wife is not against me. The wife is not the police. The wife is not the enemy. The wife is not my mom. My mom in heaven now. No, she's actually for me. And I do hope that this one can be applied in most marriages, because it's simply a personality difference. It's not an issue of love. It's not because your husband doesn't care about you. It's not because your husband is impatient at you. So for the husbands, I'm giving out this message that it's not because the wife is policing you. It's not because the wife is ruling over you. We need communication. It's just that different personalities will interpret such questioning in a different manner. So this is one of the things we conduct in marriage therapy. We measure the personality differences, and we see how they can clash, the possibility of clashes, and how personality differences can be used to complement one another. If you have these issues, try resolving this out using the tips here. Good communication, good introduction, change of reframing that the person is not against you. You try it out. If you want more help, reach out to us. We are Grace Counseling Center. We do marriage therapy, marriage counseling, online, offline, face-to-face. Reach out to us. I'll put the website below. I'll put our emails below. So once again, look for Kirby. Anyone here is trustworthy. See you, and God bless everyone.